What's up, guys, and welcome back to Things Garage. In today's video, we're going to be trying to get this scrambler running again. Let's get right into it. Alright, so to get to the plug, to confirm this thing has no spark, like according to the seller, I need to get all this plastic off, and this thing has a ton of bolts. I've already taken a lot of them off. They're just a Phillips and a 7/8, I believe, nut, and it holds all this plastic on down here, over there, and on the other side. I've taken them all off now, and so there's only a few other things holding this thing on. I took the gas cap off with the little rubber piece there. That came off, so it should be able to just slip off of here. The only thing I think left holding it, because there were not screws holding the front piece down, is all this wiring up here where the ignition is. So I'm going to unscrew some of this stuff and pull it through, and then hopefully we should be able to just pull this thing right off. Well, I took off the ignition here. You just unscrew this the same with the choke. And if I would have looked at it beforehand, I don't think maybe I still would have had to take these two off, but you have to take this faceplate off with these two Torx bits here, and now it's free. So this thing should just pull right off of here, except for this handle, which it should just slip right through. So I think we should be able to just get this thing off. Oh, okay, just that there. Okay, these right here need to come off so I can split it apart and get it around this steering stem. Oh, no, they just come off like that. Well, that's easy. Okay. The front plastics are off. The fuel tank just slides off because I don't have the two bolts that are supposed to hold the back of the tank on. So it kind of just pulls out, and then the petcock is down there, and it is already turned off. So all I'm going to do is pinch this little hose clamp, pull it off of there, and then the fuel tank will be off, so I'll have access to the spark plug. We have access to the spark plug. I pulled the plug wire off, and now I'm just threading the spark plug out. This is the first time I'm looking at it. Well, that thing looks new. There is, I think this is like a brand new spark plug. Let's see if this thing sparks. I'm not getting any spark whatsoever. Let's take this kill switch off and see if we get anything then. Nothing. Okay, let's make sure this plug wire actually has some wire showing. There is absolutely nothing showing on that. Wire cutters here and snip some of that wire off. I think you're supposed to do like a 1/4 inch or so. Let's see. Okay, I see something in there now. At least there's something. Okay, let's try this again. I mean, that could have been part of the problem there. It keeps going into gear without me even realizing. Nothing. All right, so we're not officially getting spark. The plug wires seem pretty good now. There is some wire showing there. So I don't even know if this is the right spark plug. I'll have to look it up and see. BKR5E. Next, we're gonna diagnose some of these little tests for the CDI box, the coil, all these things, and see what readings we get. First things first, I said it earlier, you want to disconnect this little black wire coming from your CDI box and see if you do or don't get spark. I will leave a little thing right here. It shows you, it's from the service manual on how to diagnose no spark or weak spark or 1 spark. This is the initial step. So the first one is replace the spark plug. I have a brand new spark plug already. It obviously did not fix the issue. The next is disconnect the kill switch wire from the CDI box and see if you get spark. If you get spark, that means you have some kind of a grounding issue, or maybe your the little switch up there, like your starter, your kill switch, all that. Something could be an issue with that. Well, in my case, it didn't. That was not an issue. So I still didn't get a spark with unplugging this. I actually replaced this ignition coil and this CDI box. This is the original CDI box that was in there. I've actually cut on it. I just wanted to look at what was inside of it. Anyway, so the next step after doing that is to test these wires. So you want to test the ignition wire. I forget what this is called. It goes to your actual ignition coil. You want to test your pickup coil wires coming from your stator along with your exciter coil right here coming from the stator. And in order to do that, you can't just use a regular multimeter. You have to have this right here, which I didn't have until today. This is a DVA, a direct voltage adapter. It will connect to any multimeter, or just about any multimeter, with these little plugs. And you set your multimeter to DC volts, and this is how you measure peak voltage on these quads, these machines. You have to have this in order to actually perform an accurate test. So I'm going to show you guys the test and show you the results I got and how to perform the test. I'll also put like a little box, like I said, up here with the actual performance thing from the service manual. So you guys can see exactly what I read in order to get this. So let's move on to that real quick. First step here, you're going to plug in your DVA like that. You're going to go ahead and set your meter to volts DC. Now that we're hooked up here, you're going to go look at your CDI box, come from the CDI box and pull off this black with a red stripe and red wire, disconnect it, okay? And with these connectors, it's kind of nice. You can just put that down. You can slide them through like this. You actually have something to grab onto with your little alligator clips. So now we're going to connect one to one side like that and one to the other side like that. So now that I believe that is the exciter coil is disconnected, we are looking for a voltage of 34. So this is 20. We need to go bump this up to 200. And now you just have to turn the four-wheeler over until that stops climbing. So it's going to climb, and then when it stops climbing, that's your peak voltage. So it looks like at peak we hit around 38, which is, I think, okay. It's within standards for this. It's within tolerance. I believe you have like a plus or minus 10 or 20% tolerance. So we were looking for 34. We got 38. We're good to go there. The next step is the same thing. Disconnect the blue, or sorry, I almost said blue. The white with a white wire and white with a red stripe. We're going to do the same thing. Push that through there so we can have something to hold on to. Pull there, connect there. It doesn't matter which way you connect these. And now for this one, we are looking for 3.4, I believe, or 3.3 volts. The little paper's not right in front of me. It's on my phone. So you're seeing it right now in this corner. 3.8, 3.9. I'm going to say that's good, again, within tolerance. So we now know that our exciter coil from the stator and the pickup coil are good to go. So the stator, I believe, is fine. The stator in this thing looks brand new. So I have a feeling they replaced the stator. This ignition coil is new. I just put it on here. The other one was showing some bad numbers. The next test is the CDI box. So to test the CDI box, you have to plug everything back in. So plug in your white to white here and the red to the red. Get this stuff all plugged back in. And then let's look over here at the CDI box. Coming from the CDI box, you have this blue wire going to the ignition coil. You're going to pull that off, and I'm going to hook the red to it like that. And then your black goes to ground. So there's the ground actually coming from the coil. And on this one, we are looking for 130 volts, peak voltage, coming from this ignition coil, from this hot wire coming from the CDI box. So this is where it failed. We're getting 0.1, 0.2. It should be 130 volts. So that right there tells me the CDI box is bad. This is literally a brand new CDI box I bought from eBay. Now, I've been in some forums, and a guy told me you have about a 50-50 shot with these things. These are all Chinese, cheaply made CDI boxes. So you either get a good one or you don't. Obviously, I didn't get a good one. And the issue with that is the person who I bought this from obviously had the same idea and bought one, because this looks identical to the one I just put on. Obviously not now because I messed with it, but it looks identical to it, and I bet you this is the problem, the CDI box. So now on our little sheet, it says, does it spark? Do you have, is everything within spec? Yes. So now we move on to the ignition coil. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is set our meter to ohms, and we're checking the ground continuity from the post of the ignition coil to the ground of the machine. So I'm just going to try to ground this out, and we're looking for 0.2 or less. We're at 0.4, so there is some tolerance to this 0.5. In order to help that, you're just going to clean up the ground connection points here on this post, and it should actually bring that number down a little bit. I'm going to do that here in a second, but this is a new ignition coil, so I tested the old one, and it was a little bit faulty. All right, I've cleaned up some of the connections here. There was some rust buildup between the engine ground points, these wires to the post here, and if you look, if you can see this, connecting it to here, to engine here, I have 0.3, and it did drop down to 0.2 a minute ago. See, it's up a little bit there. There it is, 0.2. Hopefully you can see that, 0.3. So we are good there for the continuity between the ground and the engine. So the next step in the test is actually testing this ignition coil. All right, I brought you guys over here to the bench to do the testing on this old ignition coil. So the first test, you're going to do the primary, which is going to be this post right here, this little prong to the post, and you should get anywhere from 0.3 to 0.5. Oh, and make sure this is set to your smallest ohms there. So we're at 0.2, 0.1, 0.3. So I think this was okay, that side. The next test is testing the engine ground, which it's not on the machine right now, so we can't technically test that, but from this post to this high tension wire right here should be, I believe, 11,300 with the little red plug on it, but I don't have that plug anymore, unfortunately, or 6,300 from right here to the engine post. So we need to set this to 20,000 to get to our 6,300, and if we look, we're at 397, 11,000 overloaded. We go here to 2,000. Look, it's overloaded again, 116, 70. We're jumping all over the place on this thing. I definitely think this ignition coil was not right because of the way it's just acting. I mean, we're supposed to have 6,300. 39, what was that, 18,000, 118 overloaded. See, I think this ignition coil was bad. It looks fairly new, but I still bought a new one, and the new one does test within spec. So I've already done it. I did it off camera. It's good to go. So that means, to me, the only thing wrong with this machine is that CDI box. That's the only reason we're not getting spark. I got another CDI box in. This one is whatever that says. It's a more expensive one than the cheap Chinese ones. This one actually is made in Argentina, it says, which is kind of nice, so hopefully it works. I'm going to connect it up and get my meter on here and see if we have any voltage going to the ignition coil. If I've done this test right and hooked everything up correctly, it's all just loose right now. As soon as I turn that trigger, the ignition over, we should be getting a peak voltage of like 130. So let's see what we get. Okay, I guess the key has been on this whole time. Whoops. Well, we're not getting anything. Let me just hook this dang thing up and to the ignition coil, and let's see if we get spark on the spark plug, because, I mean, let's get, who cares about this testing crap? I want to see some dang spark. It doesn't spark. I'm at a loss. I don't know what to do, so I'll bring you guys back when I figure out something. All right, guys. I finally did it after who knows how long. I have spark. Now, this CDI box works, so we know that. But unfortunately, now there's a grounding issue somewhere, because if you unplug the black box, the black kill wire switch, it starts sparking. So somehow, somewhere, there's a ground issue between the kill switch and the CDI box. But the CDI box works. I can't tell you how happy I am. I finally got one that worked. I didn't want to spend $150 on one or more. So I got this one for 45 bucks. It's made in Argentina, has some good reviews. It has spark, finally. Oh my God. So I think the next step is maybe getting a new ignition push-up kill switch thing up here, so that maybe that's part of the reason why this isn't working, because I don't know. That's just the next step I'm going to do. But we have spark finally. I'm probably going to try to get some gas in this thing. I just want to hear this thing run so bad. All right, I got the old spark plug in. It's actually giving a crap ton more spark than the new one. I don't know why. But I'm going to probably squirt some starter fluid in there, brake cleaner, whatever I got. I got something that'll try to fire up. And I'm going to try to get this thing fired up. Hopefully, we can do it. All right, here we go. Spray some of this in here. Turned over.
So that's the first time you heard it.
First time. Let's see.
There's too much in there.
Why?
You're flooded. It's like gasoline.
Really? I'm glad it was in neutral.
Me too. If you put too much of that stuff in there, it'll just be like too much gas in it.
Let's see. What, should I choke it? I could try to choke it. Let's see.
I feel coffee.
Oh, it don't matter. This choke thing is messed up. See it? You have to like pull it like this.
I don't think that's gonna do much.
You know what I can do, Jerry? I got this out here for a reason. I was going to pour gasoline in this, and this will fit right into this thing, that fuel pump, and it'll suck it in there. You think I should just do that? Yeah. Okay. Well, it started. Yeah. Go again. I got some gas on there.
Going down there.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Oh, wait. It's in gear. It goes in gear so easy, Jerry. I can hear something in this gear box rattling. I hear that, but there's something in here rattling too. Is it? Are you off of it? Here, I don't want to do that because I can't reach that thing. I don't want to get my hand caught. Oh, it's idling though. See, I can twist this the other way maybe. Sounds good, other than that stuff rattling. The exhaust, it's coming off the exhaust. Yeah, it's coming out of the exhaust, like the end of the exhaust right there. Hear that thing? That's this thing, listen. Yeah, something's messed up with it. Now hopefully it ain't idling too high that, cause see you can't kill it now. So the only way to kill it is plug this in.
Well, let's try to start it again now.
Push up on that red thing. Just push up on it. Fires right up. What is... I don't know if it's that thing making that noise or the motor. And also to me sounds like that motor. It almost sounds to me like something in that motor too. Who knows how much oil this has in it? It may not have enough oil in it.
Sounds to me like it's right down here.
It sounds like it's coming from right in here, yeah.
Check the oil.
It's hard to do because you have to, it's a weird procedure because it's not a regular oil tank or like regular sump. But it's running, so. Yeah, that's just like old stuff. Who knows what's in this exhaust?
Right.
There could be a...
Well, you washed it too, might have got some water. Well, you wouldn't have got water in there.
It could be, there could be a mouse or something that went up in there.
Let it converter maybe.
I gotta plug that back up. Or unplug it, I guess.
Okay,
Let's see. Yeah, go ahead. Here, let's see. That right there.
I think it is.
Okay. I bet you're right, because this, look, this thing is...
I see it. Yeah, it's that thing rattling.
Okay. Which I got a spring to fix it, but I don't want to mess with that right now. Start. Okay, yeah.
I've seen a fire.
I just saw that. That came from the starter. You know why? This is hitting that hot...
Loose connection.
No, the spark, the carburetor was touching this hot wire.
We could have been blowed up.
Yeah. Okay. I'm happy now. Alright guys, I feel like this is a good stopping point for this video. We've got the spark on this thing, we got it running. It'll turn over now whenever I, click it over, it'll start running. If you unplug this black wire from this rev box down here, you unplug this thing and it will run and shut off just for... Now, there's no fuel in it, but you can turn it off and on with this kill switch. I feel like this is a good stopping point for this video because there's a lot of other things we need to do. I will be rebuilding this thing. I'll probably just do that off camera. I'm just gonna take the internals out of this one because I know it works and switch it with the new case, a cheap Chinese case. And then I might get a rev limiter little box, but they don't sell them anymore, so I'm gonna have to buy a used one and they're pretty pricey, or just leave it off and see how it goes. But there's a lot of other things we got to get to on this quad. The clutches, the transmission, oil change, and make sure this motor isn't just complete trash. So I feel like this is a good stopping point. We got spark, it's running. I know the thing actually starts up and runs, which is awesome. So that's going to be it, guys. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully I taught you something. If you like this kind of stuff and want to see more videos with this Scrambler, consider subscribing. And if you want to help support the channel even more, consider becoming a member. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. That's going to be the end of the video. Hope you have a good one. Bye.